Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 30th of May. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, last GPTV for May. We're into June, 30 days in June, and the financial year will be finished.
Winter, Phil. We're getting
How's
to
your
winter.
financial year been, Gary?
Oh, yes, not too bad, Phil. I got some deductions, it's all good. Let's talk about them. How's your financial year been?
Well, I'm hoping that...
They're springing that stuff on me like that. Go on.
I'm hoping that June's going to be a big month, Gary, so that we can actually bank some moolah in the kitty for the end of 30th of June.
Yes, chip down some of those debts, Phil.
Yeah.
Let's talking about debts. There weren't many vendors that had any debts this weekend because they were happy, Philip, because we had a great clearance rate of 18 out of 21, Philip, an 86% clearance rate against the industry average of
77. You're wondering why I'm laughing because I said 86% clearance.
How have I become Clarence? You were going to say clearance, but you called me Clarence.
Clarence and Gary and clearance.
Right, yeah. Because
you think this was the first GPTV we've ever filmed?
Do you know, a lot of people call me Clarence by mistake, Philip, so it's a common thing. I don't know why you'd be worried about that. Hey,
your middle name's Clarence, isn't it?
Clarence, the same as yours. Unless yours is Clarence, in case we're both Clarence, Philip Clarence Kingston. Let's talk about, Phil, I'm going to get out of order on you because it's that sort of episode. About this home.
You're pretty pepped up today, aren't you?
I am pepped up. Yeah, we've had a big weekend and we've had an we've introduced some good listings to the business.
Normally you're flat and dull, and I'm the one that's pumped up.
Not at all.
But you're really pumped up today.
I'm rearing to go. Well, I had a couple of days just as a bit of a breather last week. A refresher, Phil.
Okay,
that's
now we're there. Now we're there. Gary did take 3 days off last week.
Well, 2.5.
Went to 3 days. Call it for what it is. And went to Surfers Paradise, I believe. Yeah. Played some golf.
Yeah.
Stayed at Jupiter's.
I did, Phil.
And the scary part, viewers, and he tells this with such pride. The scary part is he says, yes, I got picked up from the airport by the casino.
Oh, did,
now, viewers, just for the record, when you get picked up at the airport by the casino,
you're a loser.
That is not a good sign.
You're a loser.
Yeah, I know. Right. In fact, did you see the driver? He was holding up a name which said Gary Peer, and he was also doing that at the same time.
I don't know why he knew our trust account number so well. That's the biggest problem. Now, that's not funny, Philip, but I did have a lot. Well, I'm a shareholder in Star, and they're all connected now. Star of Sydney. We're not here to promote gambling, Philip. We're here to promote betting. That's not true. Let's talk about where we are, Phil. We're 21 Wattle Avenue, right in the heart of Beaumaris. How good's this home?
Both walked through the door, and both of us, literally on cue, have looked at each other and said, wow, what a cool house. Now, viewers, you might not know, but Beaumaris was a suburb that was essentially rebuilt back in the 1950s and early 1960s. And as a result of that, we've got some really iconic Australian architecture down in Beaumaris. And this is one of those iconic homes where the owner has gone through the property from the front fence to the back fence and everything in between, Gary, and given it a tweak. And what I mean by a tweak, viewers, is they've kept the integrity of the architecture, and yet at the same time they've given it the modern makeover so that you can have the romance of yesterday but with the luxuries of today. And she has done, Gary, before you interrupt me, she has done the most incredible job.
Hard to get a word in, but you're right. I agree with all of that. It is a beautiful transformation. It's a fantastic home. But Phil, we don't do a lot of GPTVs in Beaumaris. And to be quite candid, we don't sell a lot in Beaumaris. We don't get the opportunity to. But when we do get a great home like this, we're running, Phil. We've got the beach over there. We've got the concourse up there with all the restaurants.
A bit of a shout out to the Bowie girls, because
Bowie girls
they were had and probably still have a reputation. They've got a reputation for a lot of things, but I'm going to try and keep this episode clean, Gary. But Bowie girls were always the hottest girls because they were kind of blonde, blue-eyed, beachy looking, surfy kind of chicks. But they were always, like when we were growing up, Bowie girls, if you're
batting a Bowie weight,
yourself a Bowie girl,
batting a Bowie weight,
completely, I'm sure Bowie boys were the same,
they would have been. Yeah, they would have been. And to suffice to say, we had no success whatsoever.
No. You know, when I met a Bowie girl and I was giving her my best scripts and dialogue, she'd basically look and say, haven't you looked in the mirror? You're short, you've got red hair and freckles. What would I possibly want with you?
So it's taken us all these years to actually get inside a Bowie home, and that's just as estate agents. But this is a beauty. We look forward to seeing here Leon Guzenfitter and his team are excited about housing this, and details on the screen now. Come and check out this home. It's very, very popular.
It's beautiful.
Not
Gary,
surprised.
let's talk about the weekend that was.
I'm only going to go through a handful of sales, Phil, because we've got a lot to get through.
Well, that's good, Gary, because you do normally just drone on and on. We had a lot of viewer feedback. We've had a lot of viewer feedback about how they're suggesting that I get a different chair to this.
Wizard of Lies. I saw it last night. The
Wizard of Lies?
Bernie Madoff film.
Oh, how good is it?
It's unbelievable.
So you watched it last night?
I know. You
I watched it
inspired
on
me.
Saturday night.
Brilliant show.
Incredible show.
Wizard of Lies.
And I've got to tell you, if you're looking
Bernie
for
Madoff.
a show, it's an extraordinary story.
Yeah.
But Robert De Niro, you see a photo of Robert De
did
Niro
last night.
and Bernie Madoff,
Yeah, they look the
and
same.
you'd swear that they
Couldn't
were
tell the
twin
difference.
brothers,
You were.
tragically separated at
Yes,
birth.
exactly
And what
right.
about Gwyneth Paltrow? She looked remarkably
Did she really?
like Mrs. Madoff.
Did you think so?
Well, yes.
It wasn't Gwyneth Paltrow.
Who was it?
Very, very good.
Who was?
It wasn't Gwyneth Paltrow. It was the other one.
Who?
Michelle. It was Michelle
Oh,
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
He's telling me, oh, you got to see
Yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow. Well, I don't know. I thought maybe she was.
So Gwyneth Paltrow wanted to do the role,
yeah,
but
he's
Michelle
gonna- this is how he
Pfeiffer
gets out of
stepped in
trouble.
at the last moment.
Wizard of Lies.
Yeah.
Great movie. Phil, Rowan, we started off there in Mount Waverley, sold that. The reserve was 1.5, which sat perfectly with our
how
range.
delightful was it? You know, for viewers that are in the circle of Gary Peer love, which is essentially perhaps, from Port Melbourne through to Carnegie, Glen Huntley, a lot of
up to Bowie
and down to Bowie and parts of Toorak, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But the reality is, Mount Waverley. I left home. It took me 17 minutes to get to Mount Waverley. So
it was very convenient.
Mount Waverley viewers, we'd love some more properties because we got to this auction. I called for bidding and just went hell for leather right from start to finish. We're allowed to say the
Hammer and
price.
tongs. Yeah, sold for $1,615,000. Philip.
And shout out to the viewers. I did go to school with the son of one of the vendors, and delightful bloke he is too.
And well done to them. Phil, we move on to Elstwick, Parnell Street. Well, that was, I think, I'm not sure if it was one or two agents that had it before we did, but we did get it sold.
So third agent lucky, but then again, the third agent came in with a higher skill base than agent number 1 or 2.
Not that we want to say anything out of line, but that
won't,
sold for...
But we're going to mention their names?
No, we're not going to, Phil, but we sold for $1,970,000. Phil, while I was there, getting involved with that one and Adam and co. You were not far away in Centre Road, Bentley. Now, that was a popular auction, Philip.
So, Gary, what a lovely little part, that Centre Road near the intersection of Thomas Street.
Yes.
And there's a little group of shops there, Gary, which is like a little suburban, it's a little backwater almost, because these shops are quite old-fashioned.
Twilight Zone.
And while I was there, I dropped in, there's a pasta store there that makes fresh pasta.
Yes.
That's apparently into its third generation of the same family.
Is that right?
And I bought some. I did actually. I bought
good?
some potato gnocchi, and it was delicious.
Really? There you
Anyway,
go.
after buying the potato gnocchi, I did the auction. We had a really strong
Did you eat the
competition.
gnocchi before the auction?
No, Gary, I did. I ate it that night. Okay. We had a reserve there of $1,350,000, but 4 or 5 parties actually just got stuck into it, and we sold it for $1,479,000.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Big result.
Phil, I thought we'd give a bit of a plug to Bolston Street. Hasn't been sold, but so close.
Yep.
979 is a reserve. That's good value. A really beautiful home.
I know
Jeremy
this block very well, Gary, because I sold a property there when I was very new in real estate.
Yes.
And I sold it for this very, very, very sexy woman.
Yes.
And I've got to tell you, viewers, what young estate agents got up in vendors' house.
What are you saying exactly? Something very inappropriate.
All I can tell you,
this has been our last episode.
When we write our
GPTV.
real estate book, it's going to have some great chapters.
You want to be
in it.
well retired.
But I just want you to understand, viewers, that these are the days where every consumer now has a mobile phone, and is half the times recording your conversation. Every house today has has video footage.
Get to the point.
You can't get up to anything wrong in this game anymore. So it's such a tragedy for young people coming through the industry.
Our children are watching, Philip, don't forget. Phil, 1 Brampton Road, well, the price undisclosed, but what a humdinger thumper auction it was. Well done.
Gary, I think Brampton Road sets a new record price for that part of Caulfield. I don't believe there is another home in that area that has sold in excess of the price we sold, which is undisclosed.
It is, unfortunately.
But all I can say, viewers, to give you a hint, is 4 million is the new 3 million, 3 million is the new 2 million, 2 million is the new 1 million, and orange is the new black.
None of that makes sense to me. But I'll tell you what did make sense is that people got onto it when we talked about Mr. Wilson. Yes.
Oh, yes.
We know about Mr. Wilson because you were also, as I was growing up, called Menaces. You were Phil the Menace, I was Gary the Menace, but for the oldies watching this, you would remember Dennis the Menace. And Mr. Wilson was the grumpy neighbour that Dennis drove crazy
the
all day.
of times I, as a child, was referred to as Dennis the Menace.
I was a bit the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were both menaces as kids, but some people did remember Joel. He remembered, he wrote in, I won't say surname, but Joel, you said, he not only did he put Dennis the Menace, he put AKA Philip Kingston. So he knew that. Leon said that Mr. Wilson was also Tim the Tall Man's neighbour on Home Improvement, I believe.
Oh, geez.
Didn't know that, but also, I think Leon, you'll have to watch again and say, where was he? Well, you know now, because we've given away the answer. Anyway,
Anyway,
give Leon some tickets.
We're going to give away movie tickets.
Oliver said, was Gary referring to Mr. Wilson, the grumpy old man from Dennis and Menace? Oliver, I was indeed, and you were right. So tickets for you. And Vicky, or Vicar, I should say, Vicar said, in the evening while my father was watching GPTV, I heard a question about Mr. Wilson, and the answer, of course, is Dennis the Menace. I'm hoping I'm not too late for the winning prize. You're not. So well done to all those people who engaged and got involved. Now, Phil, hey, lots of stuff going on in the company. A bit of a shot there for our 10-year club. Phil.
Gary, just want to show up on screen, though, because they're coming into the winter months, and I'm just happy to give away some stuff on the show. Have a look at our new brand ambassador. So how cute is he, Gary? But our new umbrellas that I'm holding now, Gary, our new umbrellas have been a huge hit out there since we invested in the more expensive umbrella.
We did. Well, the other ones were, after we had 5 lawsuits because they took people's limbs out, we had to get the umbrella.
This is the new improved Gary Peer & Associates umbrella.
Don't open it inside, it's very unlucky.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm not going to. But if you'd like one of these, just send us in an email to ideas@garypeer.com.
We're just giving them away like that?
We're going to give any viewer that wants one of these umbrellas. But
500 people watch this.
These are the new improved umbrella because we bought in a container. Oh, I got a bargain through China, a whole container of umbrellas.
Don't say the price.
As soon as you open them, they just poked people's eyes.
These ones.
We're still being sued. Yeah. These ones are the improved version.
I saw one the other day, the old yellow one. I couldn't believe it. I saw it at an auction, but they were good. The last yellow umbrellas were really good, except if it rained or there was wind. Then they weren't so good. Phil, we talked about the 10-year. I just want to pay homage to our 10-year club. There's a photo now on screen again of the people who have been with us for over 10 years, and there's over 20 people who've been in their company for 10 years.
How great is that?
Which is fantastic. So thank you to those people.
And that was a beautiful lunch we had
at
at Silks in the private dining room. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Now, talking about spoiling our team, Phil, how about the shoe night? We've got a little bit of a snippet of the shoe night here. Let's cross over to that quickly.
Happening at GPA.
The secret's out, Phil. A lot of people don't know the best women in real estate, be it property management, admin or sales, they're all part of Gary Peer & Associates, and as a result of that, we must spoil them. So we've done it with shoes. So again, our ladies, the best in the business, we love to spoil them, and the way to a woman's heart is through her feet, Phil, unlike a male man's heart, which is through his stomach. Don't be inappropriate, Philip. We're not back in Bowie now. We are in Bowie, aren't we? But the way is through their stomach. That's what they say, Phil.
Okay. Have we wrapped the weekend yet, Gary? Have you got some more things to go on with?
No, we've wrapped it up. It was a great weekend. Fantastic clearances, and again, only a few
viewers. Still
unsold.
Great depth of interest. Having said that, I think the market's probably plateauing, Gary.
I think it is too, Phil. The market plateaus. The number of bidders per auction, the bidding of intensity was not the same.
Correct.
Last weekend, and the interest, as you would say, of transparency, Philip.
Yep. And viewers, I think this is a good thing, because when a market just continues to go up week in, week out, you know that we're probably headed for a problem. But it's now plateaued, I think. Plateaued, though, at very strong
significant prices. This is the level. It looks like it's staying there.
I think the prices that you see today, Gary, will probably be the prices moving forward.
It looks like prices have stopped climbing, would it be fair to say?
We're calling it first on GPTV.
We do that sometimes, don't we, Phil? The shoe night was wonderful again. Thanks again to our beautiful women who we love and who do such a great job for us. Philip, 12 auctions this weekend over 9 suburbs. Shall we review them?
Let's get into it.
Phil, we've got double auction action this weekend. Saturday, 10:30, Simon Radolnik kicks us off with Elza in North Road.
Having said that, viewers, I have a sense that this may well be sold. If you are interested in this, probably no doubt you received an SMS and a phone call. But for the viewers, probably sold by the time this goes to air.
Exactly right. But flash it up on the screen anyway. If it hasn't been sold, we'll see you there. Philip, Park Street, Ultimate, we love this position, this block. GO4 at 37 Park Street.
Gary, we love this. We love this building, corner Glenara Road and Park Street, and 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 very good security car park. I love that building. It is as good as brand new.
The Samuel brothers riding to town for that auction, Philip. 11:30, more double auction action. We're going to be in Alexander Street, a great address, and the name of the building is Le Grand.
Le Grand. Gary, do you know what? Shout out to my father who watches this show religiously.
He's the best, your dad.
But
he got good parents.
Well, I've got good breeding, Gary.
Yeah.
Unlike
I don't know
yourself.
what happened to you.
But
They must be so disappointed.
Do you know what RSVP means?
Reservoir, please, isn't it? A response, please, something, no?
Do you know what? He did tell me on the phone this morning. I've forgotten already. But it is French.
Yes.
Respondez vous, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît.
Respondez vous, s'il vous plaît.
No, that's RVSP, Philip.
No, RSVP.
No, respondez vous, s'il vous plaît, is RVSP.
Okay.
The Kingston's are great people. English was never great for them.
When I see you, can we run through that again?
Well, your father speaks well. He would have got it right.
He does, and he's
got lost in transaction.
Do you know my father
like many of his good qualities.
My father has learned French for the last 15 years.
He's amazing. Yep. He's beautifully spoken. It's where you get your nice voice from. But
correct.
Unfortunately, not your IQ from, but because David is a very clever and delightful man. Does he ever get over you going to real estate, by the way?
Still disappointed after all these years.
My father's disappointed too.
4 offices, 100 staff, numerous awards, and he's still wanted me to be a lawyer.
My father was never happy with me being a real estate either.
No,
anyway, as soon as you found that those peers, that was the interview.
When anybody ever asks my father what we do, we're in property.
Is that right? Very good. He just can't bring himself to say it.
Real estate agent.
Right. He's still ruining the day we met, isn't he? A bad influence in your life. Phil, 55 Alexander Street is St Kilda. Nicky Janover handles Jeremy Rosen's auctions. Take us through this.
And it is a great block, Gary. An iconic block, actually. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And viewers, these older style buildings are bigger than the new buildings. So lots of value in those properties.
The older style buildings are bigger than you. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Well, the older style apartments
are bigger.
Okay, that's what I meant to say.
Right.
I think the viewers by now know, Gary, that when we're babbling, they know that they've got to kind of try and put the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together themselves.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a cerebral addition.
Exactly right. It's like the usual suspects. You've got to kind of piece it all together, and then it works at the end somehow.
Correct.
163 Oakley Road, Carnegie. This is a great property. We did our Carnegie report from here, Phil.
Well, Gary, we're big fans of Carnegie, obviously, and this is 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. Beautifully renovated, Gary. I love that property. It's very, very schmicko.
We're doing a very orderly.
We're doing
a very orderly auction run this on Saturday. We've got 2 every hour, Phil.
Yes.
And at 12:30, we're in Bentley East. This is your only auction, actually.
Well, then I'll be bringing down the curtain, won't I, Gary?
Well.
7 Curtin Street, Bentley. What a great property. 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. Plenty of car parking, plenty of garden area. It's been beautifully renovated throughout. A really good opportunity.
Arlene's handling that one. It may not make it to auction, so stay tuned on that one too. Philip, we are going to be across the road from our office at 12:30. Jeremy Rosen's auctions. Apartment, there's all the 3s here. Apartment 5 at 333 Orong Road.
Gary, corner of Hewenden Road. This is a really good building, a 60s building, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And check out that lounge dining room. It's big and it's bright and it's bold.
And it's beautiful, and what a great aspect into the trees. Philip, Hotham Street 130 is where we kick off.
And that one is entry via Cardigan Street, which comes off Alexandra Street. So you can see the other apartment, then whip round the corner, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and beautifully renovated throughout.
We're loving all the work we're doing in Malvern, East Malvern.
We're loving, not loving. We're loving.
In Malvern, Philip, we are in Johnstone Street at 130. Leor's bringing the curtain down there. He's bringing the curtain.
Johnson Street, not Johnston.
He's bringing
Johnson.
No, it's Johnstone. That is.
No, you don't. It's a silent.
It's like a person's name.
It's
G'day,
Johnson.
I'm John Stone.
I'm so sorry, viewers. He really is a peasant, but this is certainly not a peasant's property. This is a beautiful property. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And once again, viewers, these older buildings represent wonderful value.
Hey, all these young auctioneers, they're all doing us out of work here.
Doing
They're doing us out of work. I've got no auctions on Saturday, and you've only got 1.
Well, we're better for you doing less.
And on Sunday, Phil, Sunday you're going to show them who the boss is, because there's 4 auctions, and you're doing all 4.
I'm riding into town on my big white Arabian stallion, Gary. And Kooyong Road 147 is 1,104 square metres of prime North Caulfield land on the west side, Gary. A very livable, lettable house, 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, but the value there is it's all about the land on that property, Gary.
You'll be doing that auction at 10:30.
Thank you.
You'll be doing nothing at 11:30 because you have a break. But you'll
break.
be doing another auction at 12:30 in Glen Ira Road, Philip.
Gary, I like this villa home because it's one of only 4, Gary, and it's the front home, and it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big entertaining areas, very iconic property for its era, and it's very, very livable today, but it's got some opportunity to further update and therefore add some value. Looking forward to that one.
The secret's out, Philip. 1:30 on Sunday, Lamella Street, a little known but very, very nicely positioned street, Philip, just off, is it Lockhart? I think it's just off Lockhart.
You say lamella,
Yeah.
but
Lamella.
in Yiddish, a lamb is a lamella.
Lamella, a little lamb. That's right. So,
So this might be the street of little lambs.
yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
You could bring is Mary living there? Anyway, the Lamella Street. No, this is a great house.
Lamella.
It's nothing to joke about.
Number 5. This is
Lamella.
we seem to have
Lamella.
lots of interest in this house, Gary, and I'm
I'm
not
not
surprised.
surprised, yeah.
I'm not surprised because it's 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. It's immaculate. The room sizes are fabulous. It's got a great floor plan. Move straight in or add some value there, Gary. I think there's so much opportunity to further improve.
Lamore is very excited about that auction, as am I and you and the rest of the team.
Yes.
That she's been involved handling it. Phil, we round out our Sunday in Hillside Avenue, right in the heart of Caulfield, not across the road from my joint, Phil. Good position. And Sally Zellman and team are involved in this one. Take us through it.
Oh, well, this is a great home because it sits on a really good parcel of land. It's 3 or 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. It's immaculate in size. It's an iconic 60s home, Gary, and I think we'll have really good interest both from home owners and people that are interested also in the land. So it's a really great way to finish off our auction Sunday and our first weekend of
Winter auctions.
Of the winter auctions, Gary. Are you going to wear some long underwear because it could be
Would you
cold?
like me to?
You
Would that give you pleasure if I
I've
did that?
got to tell you, when it gets
Scary,
really
yeah.
cold, viewers,
Yeah.
I kid you not, because I am a skier. And one of the things that I wear when I'm skiing is
Yes.
I've got these
Thermal undies.
Well, you say that, but they're
Yeah,
actually
I
made.
did say that.
They're
I just did.
They're actually made from silk.
Right.
So they're really,
Oh.
they're tiny. They're so you don't even know you've got them on.
Right.
But viewers, so I wear these.
don't know if our viewers want to hear that.
I wear these silk pants and the silk top, and I've got to tell you, it feels so lovely on my neck.
What do you think your, what's his name? Your Brinner, what was his character? What was his character?
But it does keep
The
you
king
warm.
of-
You
king of
wonder
summer,
how
yeah.
this thin stuff that
Yeah.
feels so lovely on my body. It's amazing.
Actually,
I love winter. I
actually
love wearing
I
it.
hope people have stopped watching this. When we started doing the auction or something, because it's just getting creepy now. It's inappropriate. I don't know why anyone would bother watching this. Anyway, thanks to those. Now you're in tears over your own. The King and I, that was it. Your Brenner, the King and I. He wore lots of silky
He
bits. didn't
did, Gary.
Anyway.
Let's finish the show.
I think we
quickly.
should. Well, get out of jail while we can. If we did, that's a big wrap on GPTV for the close off of the
we should
autumn
call
season.
this
Phil.
issue the silky edition.
The silky smooth Philip Kingston and myself have had much pleasure in presenting this episode to you. We'll look forward to seeing you next week on GPTV. My name's Gary.
I'm
Here.
Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
Bye.